Okay, let's do LeetCode 485 max consecutive ones. I'm going to do this in JavaScript, and this is a sliding window problem. They basically want you to find the longest section of ones that are all in one row. So in this case, it'd be 3, because that's longer than this 2 right here. Yeah. Okay. So sliding window problem. So let's code it out. First, we're going to make some variables, some storage variables here. So we're going to make a max length. That's what we're going to end up returning. And then we're going to make a max ones count. And this is what we're going to use to check every substring, or I guess I should say subarray in the input. Okay. So we'll do a for loop. And let's see, what we want to do is we want to check to see, basically, is the element that we're at in the for loop, is it a 1? So we'll do it with an if statement. And check to see if it's a 1. If it's a 1, then what do we want to do? We want to add it to our count. Our max ones count. And if it's not, then we want to figure out what is the larger of the two between the current count that we have or the max count. So when we do that, then we want to set the result of that to max length. And then what we need to do is we need to set this to 0. And the reason we do that is because we found a not a 1. We found a 0 in this case. So we've gone 1, 2 in our count. This isn't a 1, so it's a 0. So then we're going to set the max length here. And then we're going to immediately afterwards set the max ones count to 0. And this is how we'll end up building what's the longest subarray in here, longest section of continuous ones. I guess it's not really a subarray, is it? It's part of the array. Okay. So the last thing we need to do is we need to run this one more time. And the reason we do that is because when we're in this if-else statement here, when we have an if and then we have the else, we're switching back and forth between these two. So there's a chance that we haven't set the max length, because if we end with the 0, if we end with a 1, then we're not setting the max length. and we're only setting the max lengths when we hit a 0. So if we end a string with a 1, then after we've run through this, we'll still have a max ones count that has a count in it, and we need to compare that against the max length here. So we do that here outside of our loop, and then we just need to return it. So let's give this a run. Hit submit. Cool. So I'll leave this up on the screen so you can see it. That's it for this one.